Hi guys, welcome to another episode of TJM, the Jagman. I'm Brett, and before we start, my face is looking a little bit red because I'm having an Effidex treatment on there to burn off the little cancer spots. So you just have to deal with Brett with all these little spots on till I turn handsome again. That's going to take a couple of months, but we'll work on it. So yeah, we've been away for 6 weeks. The first time I've had a chance to actually hold a camera because there's been plenty of because we've been back for 2 weeks and there's been plenty of pressing domestic necessities to have to deal with when I got back. But it's been all good. I won't bore you too much with the holiday. We broke it up in 4 parts. Wifey and I went to Greece for a week. Went to a little island called Porus, which was great. Then we headed up to Stockholm and hopped on a luxury cruise boat and cruised the Baltics for 2 weeks with 2 other couples. Wifey and I decided we're not really cruise people, but we had fun. Then we left that couple, and Eva and I flew down to Portugal, and we had a week down there by ourselves. Then we flew back to Barcelona and hopped on the motorbikes with 2 other couples. One other couple I had with the cruise with us. We met them up there again, met with them again, and then we headed on a 12-day ride through the Pyrenees and up through France, right across to San Sebastian and back to Barcelona for 12 days, and then we were back home. So it was a great holiday. Everyone's safe and we're very relaxed now. We've had some shitty weather, but it's, as you look today, it's pretty beautiful up in the Jag Cave. So I've had Jaguar withdrawals, that's for sure. There wasn't too many Jaguars to look at while I was away, and I've been busting to get back into them, and because we've been back for 2 weeks, I've been browsing the market. Like I just got to keep browsing the market. I don't know why, I just keep browsing the market for Jaguars. So I bought something, not an expensive thing, it's cheap. Everyone asked, was it an E-Type? No, it's not an E-Type. It's far from an E-Type, but it's something I've had before, but not in fact in this series. So guess what I bought? I bought a Series 2 S Type, 2005, 3 litre, 1 owner, Series 2 S Type. You may ask, why did I buy an S Type Series 2? Well, a stack of reasons really. I've had plenty of Series 1 Jaguar S Types in my past, just things I've bought and played with and sold. But the Series 2, never had one, and they are just a vast improvement with hundreds of different minor modifications to make it a really good car. And we'll go through those modifications in a minute. But this is a 1 owner motor vehicle. It was purchased, and the gentleman I purchased off is 85 years of age. The car's been garaged all its life. It's done 170,000 kilometres. I drove it up the coast from Sydney. Excuse the cockatoos in the background. Not much I can do about them. And it drives like pretty much like a new car. I bought it cheap. I bought it real cheap. I didn't get it as cheap as I really wanted it. But these things new back in 2005 were $100,000, probably a little bit more after on-road costs. If you equate $100,000 from 2005 to today's prices, that's $165,000 today. That's just phenomenal. And sure, they're not worth a lot. There's especially today, the market's pretty depressed over here in Australia at the moment. But I'm getting so much car, and I've paid roughly just a little bit less than 3% of its original purchase price back in 2005. It's had a depreciation of 97% in 20 years. And the reason why I did get it a little bit cheaper than it's probably the value is old mate did put a little bit of a scratch in it, a bit more than a scratch. But I've had old mate from Jim Scratch and Dent. He's going to repair it, and he's quite a reasonable price just to get rid of that. So he's going to do that in a week or two. But beyond that, there's not much besides the detail that it really needs. I've never really loved the retro styling of S-Type. It has probably grown on me a little bit, but even when they came out back in 1999, I wasn't a fan. And then they did the upgrade, and I thought it's a little bit better because there's some subtle improvements of the front grille and the rear tail lights. I think the rear tail lights look a little bit Fordish, but yeah, they have grown on me. The interesting thing with the interior, this interior is almost a replica, except for the style of the dash, as the XJ's. As far as equipment levels are concerned, first of all, it's got a much upgraded ZF gearbox, up to 6-speed compared to the Ford-derived 5-speed of the earlier models. It has a full computer sat-nav system that is touch screen. Now, why that's considered fairly archaic compared to the day's standards of Apple CarPlay and Android Drive, I think they're just unheard of, and I'm pretty sure only the very high-end BMWs and Mercedes may have had them then. Even the audio system is vastly improved. Well, this one only has a 4-speaker sound system. It's pretty good. I think you can get a premium sound system which has 8 speakers. We had, back in 2005, we even had anti-skid. We had central locking. Over here we had adjustable headlights. If you have weight in the back, you can adjust your headlights so they don't shine in other people's faces. We've got a fog light there. We've got trip computer. We have a remote boot and remote fuel cap. We have power windows. We also have 2 memories for the seats, and we have about a 5-way adjustable seat, something like that. Automatic electric handbrake. Well, obvious options mine doesn't have. It doesn't have a sunroof. It means it's not, I like a sunroof, but it means it's one thing that's not going to go wrong. It also doesn't have heated seats. Oh, there'd be heated little buttons there if it had heated seats. It doesn't have them, but in Australia you don't really need them. Seats are exactly the same as the XJs, and a vast improvement over the original Series 1, which I never really liked the look of them. And look at the leather in this thing. Well, there is a little bit of wear over 20 years, and it does need a bit of a detail. It's in absolutely beautiful condition. Okay, well, let's expel some myths. Yes, the Jaguar S Type does share its platform, its chassis, with a Ford Lincoln LS. And it also shares plenty of other componentry parts with it too. But you've got to remember, Ford owned Jaguar, and it makes common sense to share resources if you have 2 different brands of cars from the same company. So the Jaguar engineers, combined with the Ford engineers, they got together and did this thing on a combined effort. It just wasn't entirely Ford, which is a good thing. It means parts are cheaper, and you've got to remember that Jaguar probably wouldn't even exist today except for Ford. Unfortunately, the poor old X-Type gets a bigger bashing because everyone just says, it's just a Ford Mondeo dressed up in Jaguar clothes. And in some ways it is, but again, it is a completely different car to the S-Type, and it also had a lot of involvement from Jaguar and Ford to combine. So it's just a smart business sense to do that, and I've got no problems with it. And also the engine. It is a Ford-derived 3-litre V6, but Jaguar actually did a lot of extra work on that engine to improve its reliability and its horsepower and its smoothness. They've just completely redesigned the heads on these things to include variable valve timing, and that makes it a lot smoother through the rev range. It gives it more horsepower and a few other things probably. But yeah, no, so that was Jaguar designed. ABS brakes were standard. I'm told that the hood or bonnet is now fully alloy, where the earlier ones were steel. Different grille design. Headlights are also different. These will need a polish, but we can work on that. And I think slightly different bumper design. Also, you've noticed that the hood struts they're gone. Oh, but they're only $40. I'll get a new set for that. That's easy. I can't hold it up now. Oh. Vastly improved suspension upgrades, including a different steering rack, which gives us apparently a better ride than the earlier models. Boots very tidy. Oh, don't know why there's a coat hanger in there. Did they lock themselves out of the car? What do we have under here? We've got a big battery. I don't know how old that battery is, but I think it's a pretty heavy duty battery. I think they're about 850 cold cranking amps. Wow, 990. God, I hope I don't have to replace that soon, because that'd be near $500. And we've got a full-size spare with a really good tyre on it. It's only a Falcon tyre, which they're alright, I don't know. That jack has to go in its proper situ. Don't know why that's just sitting there by itself. And I actually think this thing is a
I said it was a 2005. I actually think it's a 2004 build. Yeah, built 2004. First registered, I think compliance is 2005. No, 2004. It was sold to me as a 2005 car, but I didn't really look at it. But it doesn't really matter because it's I just wanted to make sure it was an update or Series 2. I don't even know if they really call them Series 2. It had private plates on it. These changed the plates. I don't like those black and yellow plates. I might change them. It is registered. It will need a real clean. There's a few scuff marks on the wheels, on the front ones. What sort of tyres have we got there? Yeah, that's not a brand that I know, but there's plenty of tread on all of them. But you'll tidy up a real treat once you've given them a good clean and stuff. Yeah, I'm liking it. I'm loving it. Vastly different wheels compared to the earlier model, with a few different selections you could have, and increased from standard 16-inch to these are standard 17-inch. Another little luxury mod is the remote locking, but if you hold the lock down, all the windows will close at the same time. I love that. A little feature the XJs do not have is this. How cool is that? And if you push that right down, it'll go all the way to the bottom. You have ski gear or long stuff, you can, without having to put roof racks in, you can utilise that. And extra cargo space now, look at that. I love the idea of it. Now I can give it a clean while it's open. That's a really, really good accessory to have. Well, first job I had to do was clean up those headlights. They were looking pretty crusty and sun damaged, and they're looking 10 times better. You could probably go over them again. And I didn't do a video of me showing how to do it because I've done a couple in previous videos, and I'll link them down below if you want to watch how I do it. I don't use anything special to do it with. I just use what I've got in the garage. I don't buy those silly $30 kits. That's just a waste of money. Anyway, yeah, so good. Next thing, we'll just give it a bit of a detail and clean it all up. Looking good. Let's go for a test drive. So this beast drives like. Let's see how this thing drives. I have driven other S-types before in Series 1 mode, but with the upgraded suspension and a few other things, it's bound to be a better driving experience than the old one. This engine puts out 179 kilowatts power. It's a pretty heavy car. Its gross weight's over 2,000 kilos. But it's a lovely driving experience. It feels really, really lovely on the road. Turning's good. Has 0 to 107 something seconds. It's not too bad for just a small 3 litre. It says it can do up to 233 kilometres per hour maximum speed. I don't think I really want to be doing that. It does have a high compression ratio, so you have to have premium fuels. It will not run properly on just standard 91. 95 or 98 is required. Ergonomically, what a lovely car. You feel beautiful in these seats. They're just gorgeous. So you fit into them lovely. They're the same as my XJ, but you feel the comfort and just the whole environment of this car inside it. It's just beautiful. For a 20-year-old car, you can't hear any noises outside. Like the decibel level is really, really quiet, which I think Jaguar focused on when they built this thing to make sure that you do have that level of comfort. And it's a really nice cabin to actually be in. I'm enjoying this experience, that's for sure. She's no slouch. You picked up pretty good. It's pretty good. Love it. It's got some guts. Can't believe I could buy so much car for so little money. And once it really doesn't need too much work to it. The only thing I'm going to do, I have to get the gearbox serviced, because the gearbox light has come on, a warning light. Seems to have a little bit of a funny change between 4th, 5th and 6th. Nothing down low. So I'm just hoping that it's not going to be too serious. Generally when you take these things for the service, they say, oh, your drum's cracked and it needs a full rebuild. So keep my fingers crossed there. It might just be a valve or a adjustment, or needs a clean filter. I'll know more tomorrow afternoon after I take it to Central Automatics down in Sydney. Anyway, we're back to our destination. Old mate still left me the price list. It was in the glove box when he first bought it. S-Type Luxury, which this is, $99,900 plus stamp duty. The car was $107,000 back in 2005. Woo! If you bought one in V8 mode, they had the option of 3.5 and the 4.2. $175,000. If you got the supercharged one, $227,000. Woo! The car did come with this advertised brochure, which is pretty nifty. Got some really good shots in here with the upgraded suspension from the older Series 1. The nav system. That's my interior, pretty cool. What did I want to see here? Prices for the, just to get a V8, another $40,000 more, and the different accessories and add-ons you can get for all these models was just astounding back then. Quite amazing. And also the different wheels. This has got the, I think they're called the Juno wheels, which is probably the entry-level wheel. And for extra money, you could have got all these special ones. Some of them are really cool. That's the XK, that's the XJ or X S-Type R wheel. Pretty nice colour range, colour combination, interior colour combination. This is what he picked. So, in a luxury, very good. The job I want to do is change these bonnet struts. They're original, they're 20 years old, and they're tired. So I've got a new pair off Easy Bay. They're only 40 bucks. So let's get them installed. Okay, make sure you have something to support the bonnet before you actually do this, otherwise it's going to be bashed on your head. And just gently pry the clips open with a small screwdriver. Generally, you just have to tap them on. You don't have to do anything but just tap them on. Just push hard on the thing and they'll go on that spot, go on that place. There you go. Beautiful. Number one done. Second one. Get on there, fella. I can't see that in the dark. Gosh, they've got some back pressure on the new ones. They're okay, but wow. I feel like they're like a little bit over pressured, but they were the ones for it. Okay, what do you think? My 2005 3-litre S-Type for under $3,000. Are they going to become a future classic, modern classic? I think they will, as long as you buy a good one. And this is a beautiful one, and this has got so much life left in it. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. And if you did make it this far on the video, don't forget to give it the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. It doesn't cost anything. It just helps my algorithms. And we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, guys. Where else did you see back in 2005 where you actually had a touchscreen navigation system? Oop, shut up. Don't do that. Quiet. Shush. Well, there you have it. My 2005 S-Type Luxury 3-litre. What a future classic. Oh, fucking hell.